Welcome to mtbradley. Hey, today I'm at my local trailhead for mountain biking and hiking, and we're going to take a look at trail conditions and see what they're like. I suspect it's a bit muddy up there, but let's go take a look. By the end of this video, you'll be on your way to understanding the different soil types you might see at your local trail system. For the best mountain biking tips, reviews, and trail rides, subscribe to my channel and tap the bell to be notified every Thursday when I post a new video. Mountain bikes are rad! You should get one! Over the years, I've helped thousands of people recreate outside, and mountain biking was just one of those activities. Now, it's time for me to help you. It's springtime here in central Washington, and I'm excited to get out on the trails. I suspect they're going to be a little bit wet, but we'll see. When you get to your local trailhead, head over to the kiosk and see if there's any important information updates on the kiosk. At our local trailhead, we have this cool little sign I'll show you here that gives us an idea as trail users what kind of impact we're making on the trail. Our trail system here is made up of a lot of loess and silt, and getting on the trails when it's wet just causes trail erosion and trail damage. So we have this little concrete imprint, if you will, of what it's like. If you're leaving this kind of impact on the trail, then you should stay off the trail. If not, have a great time. Today, we're not practicing any drills or going for a ride. Although, I did try to get up there for a ride the other day, and the conditions were just still too wet. In this video clip, I'm riding one of my local trails in midsummer conditions. Notice how it's super dry. If you were following me on this ride, you would be eating my dust. The trails are so dusty in the summer that you would literally be eating the dust thrown up from my tires. These are common conditions throughout the summer here on our local trails. While we might get a brief thunderstorm throughout the summer, the conditions are so dry that you can ride during and often just after the rain stops. Sometimes that's when the best dirt is found. The recent rain makes the dry dirt tacky and super grippy. Cornering in these conditions are a blast. I live in the east side of the Cascade Mountain Range. While we have hundreds of days of sunshine, we do get snow and rain. We are coming out of winter and entering the wet trail season. Why is this important? Because we have a lot of silt in the form of loess on our local trails. This type of trail surface is easily damaged when ridden wet. When I say wet, what does that mean? Well, here are a few photos I recently took. Walking or riding in these conditions leave ruts and footprints. Our local trailhead has this display sign that's worked great at educating people about trail conditions and when to use them or when to avoid them. As you see in my photos, the trails are too wet to hike or ride, so we should give the trails more time to dry out. In a previous video, we went over the gear all new mountain bikers should have. Click the I to access that video and look in the description below to download that free checklist. Here's a few photos of common trail surface types. These trail types all behave differently in wet conditions. Some favor moisture, others do not, while some hold up better to moisture and others don't. When your local trails are wet, are they rideable or not? Leave comments below. On the west side of the Cascade Mountain Range, the dirt is a little bit different. There's a lot of loam that makes for great trail riding. Loam is a mix of sand, silt, and clay material with nutrients that make it fertile soil. This type of surface makes for good trail building and stands up to a variety of conditions. When you mix this soil type with good trail building techniques, you find yourself with trails that can be ridden when wet. If you live on the west side of the Cascade Mountains, you know how much rain you get, and you also know that west side trails fare better in wet weather. So why am I telling you this? Because respecting trail conditions and trail closures due to wet conditions is something we all could be better at. Riding trails when they're too wet means that volunteers or land management agencies have to spend more time planning, scheduling, coordinating volunteers, and then performing the trail work to keep the trails rideable and sustainable. The time spent fixing this type of trail damage could be time spent improving the rideability of the trail, or even better, building a new trail. Before heading out to ride your local trails, do your research and find the best place to ride. Hold your friends accountable and attend trail work parties to give back to the agencies responsible for allowing you the opportunity to ride your mountain bike. Check out these videos where you can learn to improve your mountain biking skills. If you're new to mountain biking, you need to get your hands on my checklist that covers the gear you need for your trail ride. Look for the link to that checklist in the description below. If you learned something, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Tap the bell to get notifications of my next video. Until next week, I'll see you on the trail.